All right, guys, welcome in to my little 164 NASCAR toy shop. I want to do a short, quick update video for you today and let you know where I'm at with a few things and a couple changes. Actually, one change that I made to the toy shop process today. So I've got this Rich Bickle number 45. Is that what it is? Yeah, 45. The 10-10-345 from 1999, using a Tony Stewart Pontiac donor car, and I've painted it with the Color Shot Wine Spirit, and I'm real happy with the way that this color is going to turn out. I think this is a really good match. It's not a perfect match, which I don't want it to be. I want it to be a little bit darker than these little kind of like I guess it's like a hot pink lines on this thing. But real happy with how it's turned out. It's a matte finish. I'm sorry, a satin finish, and I just need to put a coat of a sealer on it, and then I can start decaling it up. But real happy with how it's turned out so far, and looking forward to making this for you, Mr. Matt. You can see back here the Jamie Mcmurray 26. I've got this all decaled and reassembled. I need to do a few more things on it, but this is where it's at from my last video. I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out so far. The decals and everything lined up, you got to put them on in layers, right? And because there's some overlap that takes place, especially with these little stripes here, and then this red and yellow lines that stretch across here. You got to use some microsole to get them stretched and put into the right place. But yeah, I'm real happy with it. I've got to do the roof lines, and I think because they're so faint on these bodies, this is a 2007 non-COT body, the roof lines, I'm going to have to use a decal. I'm going to have to get a black stripe decal and lay them in place so that it covers that transition from the yellow to the purple on both sides. So, but I think the one thing that I'm not happy about is I didn't kind of file down or shave down the transition from the purple to the yellow, so you can see that behind the 26, right? You can see that kind of line there, and that line is just the transition as the depth of the paint is raised where I painted the yellow. And because these decals and the microsole does such a good job of bringing that decal right up against the surface of the car, you can see those transitions a little bit easier. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good. So unfortunately, that's what we've got. Now, if you look at it like that, right, it looks great. But when you look at it with the light at the right angle or at the wrong angle, that's what you end up with. So, yeah. So yeah, so that's that. Let's see. Let me show you what I'm working. Yesterday was a paint day, and because of the paint day, I needed to make a change. So this is what I've got over here. I'm making another Rich Bickle just to see how this turns out with the other donor car that I bought. So there's, I'm building this pedigree for you, one of the ones you mentioned you needed. Matt, your other two cars are here. I got them painted. I'm going to build this Tyler Reddick 3-Chi. Put that up on eBay, see what that goes for. Painted it with the dark gray Rust-Oleum. Got the Tubi, and I've got another one going on here, another Bomberito. And then Kyle, your first of your Rowdy cars is here, and it's got painted on it with the Color Shot Marshmallow. So I like the Color Shot, but at the same point, it's kind of a smelly paint, and had some issues yesterday. Even though I painted them outside, except that one, I painted them outside. I got some paint smells upstairs that didn't turn out too well. So what I'm thinking is, and let me just back up here a little bit and move around. This area where I do this work here is kind of in an open space that can go freely. Any smells from here can go freely over towards the stairwell and then up, which is the problem. I want the paint smells to stay down here in the basement, or of course, like I said, I painted outside, but I still bring the cars in. I don't want them to dry outside because you'll get dust and debris in it from the wind and stuff. So I brought the cars inside after I painted, and even still, the paint smells from here as they're drying, still go up. And yeah, then we have some conversations. So what I want to do is try to keep things behind this little curtain that I've got set up here. So you can see, and I've showed this before in my videos, you can see I've got this curtain, kind of like just this drop cloth that I've taped up high on this I-beam up there. And I want to kind of keep things behind here. And so, as you can see, this area back here is just, it's completely enclosed. There's no other exits. There's no way that smells can go from up here through the floor. It's not going to happen. So I want to try to keep things back here where I normally do my painting. And although I've been using, these candles, I have some Lysol spray as well that I bought recently, and a few other things that I use to help dissipate the smells. I'm thinking I need to paint over here and keep the cars over here until they dry. And so what I normally do, and I've got a car sitting here that I painted yesterday, but what I normally do is after I paint it on these little stands, I've got 2 of them here, I would lift them with my little carrying wire or contraption, right? And I would, right after I paint it, I would lift it so it wouldn't stick to that base, and I would take it over to the other side and let it dry over there. Well, yeah, I want to keep them over here. So my thought was, I'm going to, paint them here, and then have a place to put them temporarily while they dry. And so here's my solution to that, is this little area here. So I just got a piece of plywood that I had laying around, and I had done some wood flooring, and so I grabbed 4 of those pieces, mounted them to the plywood, mounted them to this little, the studs here, and I had to trim off a little bit of the side, the little tongue and groove thing, so the cars would fit nice. But yeah, so I've got 4 places here where I can temporarily put the cars. So the idea is I'm going to, paint it, carry it over here, and then just set it here so that it can dry temporarily. And then, any smells will stay over here on this side. And then once it's, a few hours at least, right? While the smell leaves the car, then I'll bring it over to the other side where it can fully dry, and then I can start reassembling everything and putting it all back together. So that's what's going on here in this little toy shop change. Haven't tried it yet. I just put them up actually this morning. I woke up early, but just trying to improve, trying to minimize any residual impacts of what I do down here in my basement, to try to keep peace in the household as best as possible. For some reason, it doesn't bother me at all, right? I don't care. Paint, basement smells, garage smells, oil, gas. I don't care. I kind of grew up with it. It's not a big deal to me. But other people are impacted by it negatively. So, trying to be sensitive to those sensitivities. All right, guys, that's what's going on. God bless. I'll give you an update on some of these, the progress of these cars in the next video. So, all right, God bless. We'll talk to you soon.